Sudden thought, a lot of people may be thinking they're seeing Michael for the first time since he is without a baseball cap. This is historic for you.
I think I might have come on here once before.
I don't remember.
Really? Well, I woke up one morning and I just realized I had hair. I mean, you wear those things when you don't have hair.
Most people realize it younger than that. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, well, but you know, it takes me a while sometimes.
The Attorney General, Eric Holder, says the federal government may challenge Arizona's immigration law. What do you make of this story?
Good. I don't understand Arizona. I mean, I didn't think it would be possible for them to embarrass themselves more than they did 20 or so years ago when they were the only state that wouldn't have Martin Luther King Day. This law of theirs, I don't know what to say. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've read the language. My position usually is anytime something sounds like dialogue from Hogan's Heroes, it shouldn't become law. I mean, this is really, that they could just go up to anybody who looks Hispanic at a state that's 1/3 Hispanic and demand papers from them. This is not the American way, and I can't believe it'll hold up constitutionally.
Do you agree that they have a problem?
Well,
that they're trying to deal with the problem. You don't think they're a fascist state, do you?
Well, I don't know. What is the problem, really? I mean, most of these immigrants who come here work very hard. They don't. Even the illegal immigrants, they work very hard. They do the jobs Americans don't want to do. Frankly, I think, I mean, personally, that if any illegal immigrant they catch in Arizona, they should let him keep doing his job because he's adding to the economy. For everyone they catch, they should send one Goldman Sachs guy to Mexico. That's how I would try to start restructuring the law.
Well, an economic boycott, and some people are trying, I think San Francisco, trying to economically boycott Arizona, like telling people not to go there. Boycotts can be effective, but they can also hurt the people they're trying to help.
That's true, but I think there was a similar boycott on the Martin Luther King Day, and they eventually came to their senses. So yes, those boycotts do work.
Would you boycott Arizona?
Well,
would you not stay in a hotel there?
Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean,
if you
I
had a scheduled vacation there next week.
I wouldn't vacation there, but I go to their film festivals. I have family there. My girlfriend from kindergarten lives there. Does that count? I don't know. It's a wonderful state. There's great people there.
Are you surprised that John McCain...
I found that out on Facebook, by the way.
Are you surprised that John McCain's change? He was so in line with Bush's kind of progressive immigration status.
I think that there's a general feeling of sadness about John McCain amongst all kinds of people. People who used to think very highly of him, people who maybe disagreed with him but respected him. And, you know, you always hate to see somebody in the final stage of their career do crazy things. I mean,
this was tweeted to King's Things.
Yeah.
We have people tweet to us.
Okay, yeah.
Ask Michael if he thinks the new Arizona law is the result of the federal government failing to reform immigration policy.
No, I think it's the result of a bunch of bigots in the Republican Party of Arizona. That's what it's the result of, and it's sad that they're behaving that way, and it makes the rest of us look bad as Americans, and they should start acting like Americans and not do that. I guess that's the simple answer.
Did you ever consider immigration as a documentary?
You know, I've thought a lot about it, mainly because, Larry, we are all immigrants. We are all the children or grandchildren, right? We're all, unless you're an African American or a Native American, everybody else came essentially by choice as an immigrant, and we are the beneficiaries of what our forefathers and mothers did.
Correct.
And we dishonor them. We dishonor them by treating the new immigrants so poorly. We're a big country, Larry. There's lots of room for people. If you don't believe that, drive across Kansas someday.
You have often fought for protest as the American way, for standing up for what you feel. What do you think of the Tea Party?
I think it's been given a lot more attention than it deserves. It's not really that big of a movement. It doesn't have that much support.
But they're doing what Michael Moore would stand up for.
Well, no, actually they're not. I mean, the irony of their, you know, populist movement against, you know, the bailout and the banks and all that. Here's my question, and if anybody in the control room, if you have some tape, you can roll it. Show me one Tea Party demonstration that's taken place on Wall Street or in front of a local bank or any financial institution. If they're really so upset about that, why aren't they demonstrating there? Instead, what they're doing, they're running around with placards of Obama with a Hitler mustache on him. It's a nutty movement. Here's what I'd like to see. I'm going to check this out too. On Thursday of this week, a bunch of unions across the country have called for a massive rally and march on Wall Street. On this Thursday afternoon, they're going to meet at City Hall Park, and then they're going to march down to Wall Street. I'd like to see if that gets as much attention as these 600, 1,200 people Tea Party gatherings have received around the country.
I didn't know this is this Thursday.
You see, you didn't know that. It's this Thursday. These are major U.S. unions that represent millions of American workers. They're going to be marching on Wall Street.
What are they calling it?
They're calling it Showdown on Wall Street.
We'll ask Michael about Sarah Palin next. 25 years, who'd have thunk it? Anyway.
Can I just say, there was something on your website about what's your favorite Larry King episode of the last 25 years, and my vote seriously is down with you and Marlon Brando. That was...
You like that kiss and everything?
Yes.
Watch this. We're showing it. Look at it.
Oh, here it is.
No, now, it doesn't matter what he says.
No, and we're going to take phone calls.
Just leave it there, and it will.
But how does this look?
What? It looks like that.
All right. What changed you? What diminished the anger?
Pain.
You can go to your website and vote for your favorite Larry King moment now, which Michael Moore was kind enough to cast his vote already. Sarah Palin, why is she so polarizing?
Well, first of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with her standing up for what she believes in, and then a lot of people like what she believes in, and fortunately the majority of the country doesn't like what she believes in. So
how do you explain the phenomena?
Because we're a big country. If you got 309 million people, it's very possible that there's a good 100 million that are going to want to, shoot moose from a helicopter or whatever else that they think that's cool that she does.
You think 100 million people want to shoot moose?
I think they find that pretty hot that she's doing that.
I think there's 100 million moose who'd like to shoot up to the helicopter.
Well, no, see, but being from Michigan, I've always advocated that when deer season comes, be a much fairer fight if we armed the deer. And then let's just see how many hunters.
You want a fair fight?
I want a fair fight between the hunters and the deer. But that's
a question
another show.
Tweeted to King's Things. Has Moore ever had a direct contact with Obama? Ever talked to him?
No, I've never spoken to him. Never had a direct contact. Is that the question? I've never had a direct contact with him.
Yeah, that's the question. Well, you had an indirect contact. All right.
It's a long story that I'll save for my memoir.
You were on this show the night before Obama signed the health care reform bill, a major night, a bill that had a lot of problems but still you wanted passed. What is your biggest concern about that bill now?
My biggest concern is that there's no real enforcement powers that are in the bill as itself. Actually, can I talk a little bit about this contest I had? I don't know if you heard. Well,
you had a contest.
Yeah. Well, basically, if you have a copy of if anybody has a copy of the health care bill.
This was your contest, right?
Yes, this is my contest. I announced it last week because nowhere in the bill does it say what the health insurance company's punishment is if they deny somebody with a pre-existing condition. So, I mean, it's one thing to make a law saying, okay, you can't deny anybody because of
there has to be a penalty.
But there has to be a penalty. So you read this whole bill. It's 2,000 pages long, as the Republicans are fond to point out. And there's nowhere in the 2,000 pages that it lists any actual penalty. So but there is a penalty.
You had a contest to find the penalty.
Yes, it was secretly embedded in the bill, but because they didn't really want the American public to know
what is the penalty.
If a health insurance company is found denying somebody because of a pre-existing condition, their penalty is $100 a day. So if they have somebody with cancer that needs a $100,000 operation, they could just sit that cancer patient out for a full year if they live that long, and their fine would be $100 a day, $36,000.
You're sure of that?
Oh, well, not only that, but
hold on. Someone won the contest. We're going to take a break, come back, and as I understand it, you are going to call the winner.
That's correct.
We'll be right back with Michael Moore. Don't go away.